Wait, what is even in the description? Is it a specific song, or is it like... Oh, it is a specific song. Oh, I'm actually stupid. Hold on, wait, let me change that. It is My Brain Works Again. Okay, I fixed the description. Hello? I'm live. It's been like... I feel like it's been a large number of seconds in which nobody has said anything. Hi. I don't know. I'm like used to people waiting, I guess. I gotta stop getting used to shit. You know what I mean? Like people aren't like gonna consistently do the same thing every single time. You know, people join at different times. They have things going on in life. And XDR1 is 6-7ing all over the place. Welcome to the stream. Hi Sphinxy, welcome. Should already know, but if you don't know, now you know. There's a new single song goal. Alright, so you can't say she don't got a single song goal. I got 4 that just released. But like this is the track number 4. This one is the one that has like the high tech like first drop, you know. So if you were here for me making it, you know, now it's out. You can share it with your friends as opposed to having it on your personal playlists if you're one of those psychos who downloads music. I mean, I do too. It's tech core, it's something, I don't know, but it's definitely different than what I normally do. I for sure ventured out there. Also, I have a TikTok that's like kind of not going. I mean, it's doing all right. It's doing pretty well for like for TikTok for Daria talk. You know what I mean? Like it's not quite like triple platinum like on some Athera shit. Like I don't know like how people just flock to his stuff, but like all because I made a caption saying stop gentrifying dariacore, and I knew that would get people riled up because it basically means nothing. Like I'm saying gentrifying as a trigger word for people to be like, oh, ah! You know what I mean? It's either you're gonna agree and be like Zilzacore sucks, you're gonna disagree and be like we should listen to what we want. You know, stop arguing about shit. It's a completely underground scene. Some people are just like, this isn't even dariacore. It's like speed house. It's like, all right. I'm like. Like, look, it was interaction bait to begin with, and boy, did it fucking work, okay? Like, it is really funny how that worked. It was, it's 8K views, 1K likes, right? It's 8K views, 1K likes, which is an insane ratio. It's less than 10-to-1 views to likes, which is, a crazy ratio. You know what I mean? Normally, like, when a post mellows out, it starts to exceed that, like, 10-to-1 zone. Because people rewatch it, or, you know, it gets pushed to an audience that isn't, like, going to also like it. But it is a crazy ratio, you know. I just wish that it applied to the music, because if I go to the song on SoundCloud, like here, let me just copy this link and go there here. Please. Okay. Hopefully the chat isn't broken. All right. But, like, if I were to go on my SoundCloud, for example, please don't play the song. It's gonna play the song, whatever. Oh, you can't even, like, see the EP that it's a part of. Can you? I wonder. I haven't browsed my SoundCloud on, not my account. Well, whatever. Like, the recent tracks, the one that I posted was, first of all, it's not dariacore, it's some other shit. Plus, doctors don't know the scientific ramifications of its hazards yet, motherfucking hoe. I think I typed it wrong. Whatever. I posted this song, but it's clearly not the most popular one. This one, I don't know where everyone went, because, like, the first drop, like, the ratio is crazy. It's, again, less than 10-to-1. 60 likes, 400 plays is a crazy ratio. I really do appreciate that. You know, it's back for Daria 2010 because, you know, only the real heads are really following these drops. But this one has like a shit race, and this one fucking like compared to the first drop where like people were on that like instantly, like no one's listening to this right now, which doesn't give me high hopes for the next 2 tracks to release, because those are like some of my favorite tracks that I've ever made. You know what I mean? And I feel like no one's gonna hear them, you know. But it's also just like I'm posting every day. People get fatigued. Normally people don't post like that. It is a very unconventional way to release music, so I'm not exactly surprised that things are going the way that they're going, but I'm disappointed that things are going the way they're going. And it's not like anyone's fault. I'm not blaming anyone. No, it's more just like a byproduct of how this whole landscape works, I guess. But it's not really meant to pop off super instantly and like make waves. It's like it's kind of a sleeper, you know. But it's there. I'm definitely making my presence known. I not begged. I demanded release radar perms in the Hyperflip Hub Discord server so the normies could be put on, because I feel like they don't even know, which is really funny. But yeah, you know, music releasing and stuff. It's a whole spiel. It's a whole shebang. Please like the stream, by the way. You know, I would really appreciate that. This stream is gonna be a little less producing, a little more talking, because I kind of like this project is huge, by the way. It's embarrassing how large this project got. You know, I kind of don't want to spend too much effort on like a drop like this, which isn't gonna go my main account at all. I can't tell you where it goes, but God, it's an embarrassing amount of shit, you know. But like the idea took an embarrassing amount of shit to make. Like most of these are automation clips. You know what I mean? Like a lot of this is just automation. Except for this whole section here. But yeah, I finally put in some transition sounds, and I didn't scrap the outro idea, but I changed the outro idea. Like I'm just gonna continue the drop, but it's still not like fleshed out, this idea. But you know what I mean. I'm Dariacore by Leroy, or fucking Jane. But for a long time, I listened to a lot like Steege, and like Genghis. Yeah. Wave 2, maybe wave 1. People are on like Realer and Athera right now though, and like 3, or Talk or whatever. People like 3. It's like clubby stuff. It's like grave robbing, but more Daria. Listen to Realer. He's in my comment section. I mean, I kind of know the guy. I'm tapped in, and so is Realer. Right. I'll just play this out. You know what I mean? If you were here before, it's gonna sound mad familiar to you, but there's gonna be some actual transition sounds for once, because I decided to be like, all right, fuck it. I'm kind of tired of this having just like empty breaks.
Idiot.
I'm trying a new thing out here. You got the gist. That end part. I want to like sell the melody more. I don't know what it is about it. What is random saw thing? Interesting. Will this even be audible? Is the real question, because there is so much going on in this section. It's like a 1 lift, 2 lift. I'll just like put it here. Put memes there to fill? No. Alright, so here's my idea. I'm just gonna make it louder. Last part, loud machine. And I'm gonna add an EQ to start, and I'm just gonna do this. Something like that. Not gonna like, can't wait for this month to be over? Why? You can't hear it. You can't hear it at all. It's futile. You got a rave tomorrow? Hell yeah. I hope you have fun. And don't do drug bad. What if I drug good? Wait, what if... Hold on, I'm... Yeah. That clip's way too hard. I wanted to try it out, the no sidechain swag, but, you know, it clips so hard I can't. You know, I'll do the piano outro. I'm feeling sappy. But I'll do a certain way. I hate that vocal fry. It sounds so gross. What is that triple layer thingy? What do you mean? What is what triple layer thingy? This thingy? I'm all of a sudden don't find enjoyment in it anymore. I just, like, my friends aren't really playing anything. You know, I'm not really going to any parties this year. Oh, the pink thing, that's just all like the melody stuff. That's from the drop. It's like from the first drop. It's all this shit. You know what I mean? This fucking. You know what I'm saying? But that's just all that. Yeah, it's just being hard sidechained. For like the downbeats though, I'm using like a softer sidechain. On this section, it was like a happy accident. I just kind of like the way it sounds. But I use it for the earlier sections because like on those parts, I'd have like a rave stab. So like the rave stab comes through more. Because I wanted it to be like a short rave stab. But a short rave stab doesn't work if I use this sidechain. It works less. Like the kick is still nice and punchy, but like it doesn't... The rave stab just being slightly more audible there just kind of completes it for me. It's the bass layer. Well, yeah, the bass layer is what makes it clip like hard. Because otherwise it's just noise. Know what I'm saying? I knew there was something weird. There we go. Holy algo pull? That's crazy. So you're the kind of person who has not seen Huffin before. Because you're a rare breed of person. You know, there are few people who have found this stream without having already been subscribed to me from a couple of years ago. I have to go shopping on Halloween because that's my girlfriend's birthday the next day. It's actually unfortunate. You couldn't have done it earlier? Is something Vocodexed? No. Nothing is Vocodexed. I kind of just don't even like using Vocodex. Got hit with an ad, hold up. Yeah, I'll wait. Oh, actually, I gotta find a sound anyways. Perfect. Yeah, fucking. I'll just be generic. For now. Maybe I'll change it later, but just for the sake of moving this part along. Wait, I need to be able to see. Hold on, I have flux on. Turn this off. Nothing changed for you, the viewer, but for me, the observer. The screen is now a lot more blue and I can focus more. Because, it's like, ah, shit! It's like inundating my eyes, with light. And so it's like forcing me to be at least a little more alert. So it's gonna be, good old-fashioned 1, 2, 3, and then we come in here and then we get the one thing that I use all the time. I think it's, yeah, effect 4. It's a classic. Instead of using the car crash effect here, because I think having a cleaner like kick sort of distortion impact as opposed to like a super muddy sort of smeary like bass impact that is the default Daria fucking car crash sound effect. I think it's just better here for this part. I'm unfamiliar with your other channel. No. It was on this channel. It was on this channel. It's not. I'm not talking about some like previous channel shit. But I did definitely have one of those. Oh wait, Z-Cross was turned off. I am fucking brain dead. Oh my god. Okay, it's fine. Damn! Shut up! And then Here, what I'll do, I have to control enter to select this and make an automation clip because I'm on FL12. Right, and then, right, and then, maybe turn this up a little bit, right, okay, and come down here, we borrow this, that's not how you do that, it's over here. That is loud. I need a different glass break sound effect than the one that I already have here, which would be found here. Awesome. Very loud, but also, as Boarat once said, very nice. Guys, who should I diss? What do you... Donald Trump. There is an easy one. Oh! Pat God. You should diss Pat God. You should diss Pat God. That's actually so funny. Okay, I had this EQ set for, if I was gonna do the, like, have this piano playing in the earlier part, but... So for this section, I want to Reese. At least for the first half, and then the second half can be just piano. And I do want to figure out some sort of meme outro to completely cut the tension, because this is too beautiful for what I really want to be doing. Noob versus pro versus hacker. Precisely. Alright, and now we're just saying shit. The copy lame mechanism. Awesome. Yeah, cool. Let me just reset up. I'll start with the higher octave. Right? And then I don't know, just fucking you know what I mean? Very simple to start off with. Would you ever make like a proper commercial sounding track, like a super like a very produced sort of? Do you mean commercial track like literally used for a commercial, or do you mean commercial track like big name EDM producer sort of thing? The first one or the second one? Just like big name EDM. Okay. Jet 2 Holiday. Like a big name EDM. I don't know. I feel like I get too bored. But like it would sound interesting to limit myself to not like clip too hard, you know, and like follow decent practices for making music and like mixing and stuff, and not like, you know, deliberately breaking every single rule for the sake of being a contrarian. That would definitely be some sort of challenge. I would actually be kind of fucked. Wait, no, what am I doing? Oh no, I can just do this. Why did I turn a second oscillator on? Am I high? Why does it sound like I turned a second oscillator on? I did. Oh, because I did. Oh my god. What? Hello? Oh, I'll have the fucking the cut tool. That's why. Yeah, cool. Let me like change the wavetable though. Yeah, that's like fine. I can EQ that. Put this on here. Trump would pound you, pro? Jesus Christ, what the hell? I would have thought breaking the rules would make that easier. I mean, like the whole idea, because it's limiting for me to be able to like, to do something like traditional, because I'm always kind of clipping a little bit, like for that grit. Um, and I haven't made something like regular in very long. The last like regular-esque thing I ever made was like running, which was a while ago, but also just a nice track. It's a good vibe. Me versus Trump. I got my doubloons on Mr. Biggie Boy. I mean, I also got my doubloons on Mr. Biggie Boy. Why not, right? Like, oh yes. Awesome. Let me put a delay on this though. Wait, why am I fucking doing it this way? I can just control F. Delay. Boom, and it's right here. I have an SSD for this exact purpose. Right. So I want the shit to bend more. That's not the right one. Oh wait, no, it goes really? It does. It's so needlessly beautiful. It's Biggie Boy got that youth in him, the stallion. Exactly. What's he gonna do once he hit a backflip? Nothing? Yeah, but that backflip though. Yeah, I forgot about that sound. I forgot it was like as loud as it was. So let me just like get rid of it. Oh crap, get rid of this and get rid of this. Loud as shit still. Yeah, okay. All right. Now, there's just one more thing left to do. One more thing left to do. Now, this is something that I do all the time whenever I make like a track that I'm not going to release on main. Whip, I think. And I'll explain in like once this fucking exports. But in the meantime, let's have some riveting conversation. Let's talk. How have things been with you all? I hope they've been well. I can only hope they've been well. I'm gonna be promotional? Oh no. Don't be a walking billboard. Come on. Nobody likes a shill. Right. Okay. That piano on loop would make me start thinking about life. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how I do it. I don't know how I do it. I sometimes I make things very often. It's been a vibe. Oh, I'm not ending anytime soon. I hope it's been a vibe. I'm glad it's been a vibe. That's good it's been a vibe. What went wrong? I just read your name. I don't know, that's really funny. What went wrong? Why did I just read your... Okay. I'm a little dumb sometimes. Like this stream, guys, and also subscribe and join the Discord server for epic stuff and repost all Fembread song on SoundCloud. Okay, never mind. If you're being a walking billboard for me, then it's different. Do all of those things. There's a Discord server in the description. Please like the stream if you haven't already. Check out my SoundCloud. I just released this song 4 hours ago. I had to use my fingers for that because apparently I'm bad at mental math right now. Things have been alright, just at work. Yeah. No, yeah. That's usually how it goes. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open up a new, in case I want to go back to this FL. I'm gonna open up a different FL. Hold on, wait, I have to like, that's not the right one. Wait, oopsies, something happened. The screen's black now. Let me just save as EP micro. And you know what I mean? Like oh, look at that, it's back. Okay. All right, cool. So what I generally do is EP episode 2 whip, I think. Appreciate me being here at clocking at 2 a.m. working for pesos. What the hell? Damn. All right, and yeah, there's this whole break here where like I don't have anything planned yet. Fuck. I have to finish that. Whatever. But I still want to like listen to how this would sound. So I want to do, I'm just working at Boba Shop. Yeah, that sounds like it would be like kind of fun and whimsy, but still stressful, but like with its moments. Top 10 people I can beat in a fight. Drake, Joe Biden, the free avocado? Do you mean the fresh avocado guy? And Justin Bieber, probably IDK. Okay, so right now we're in D. And I kind of want to go to that, but 50 cents down because it's Daria and that's the swag. So it's going to sound like that. So it's probably going to be like 149 BPM, I'm guessing. Project tempo. I think that's just a little sharp. And now you listen. Now this is the sauce. This is what they don't tell you about. No, I mean, okay, personally, I'm the kind of person, look, oh, there's 2 of them now, by the way. One of them's gonna dance, though. Personally, I hate microtonality, as in, like, it's, like, annoying to deal with, because, like, sampling shit, you have to fucking move it 50 cents before anything. And, like, in sets, I'd imagine it's kind of annoying, but, like, my Daria friends make songs in plus or minus 50 cents and it gets played in sets. And so it's like, you know, fucking does it matter? I still refuse to do that on main, but you know, for stuff that isn't on main, I like to indulge and be like, I like to see how, it's annoying for DJs. That's what I'm saying. It's annoying for DJs, but because Daria is so niche and only DJ'd by certain people who kind of already know what they're signing up for, it low-key doesn't matter. Like, I get told by people who have played shows, have had their songs played at shows, not played shows, but have their songs played at shows, that, like, you know, it kind of doesn't matter. Who's playing during these sets? Who's playing these during sets? I didn't need the links. I don't fucking know. I don't know. But a lot of it happens in Japan. I can tell you that. But, like, also the stuff that happens in Japan is, like, very specific. I don't know. There's a specific kind of hyperflip that I refer to as Japan slop. And I would not be able to explain to you the sound in words, but like it's something. How do DJ switch song? There's a song on one track and then there's a song on another track. And as the song on one track is like kind of fading out from its drop section and the song on the second track is like building up, you would fade them against each other, you know? They do a little filter sweep, something. And yeah. Do you realize something? Do you realize that, wait, why didn't it fucking... Do you realize that...
idiot.
Oh fuck, wait. Damn. Up piano at the end. There's something about it. Gracias, gracias. Now my problem though, I will say, is that because of the heaviness of the sidechain, I feel like it takes too long to happen, and so it can be a little too choppy at times. Now what I want to experiment with, yeah, coming reminiscing over a GF I never had. Yeah, it just had me thinking about things that did genuinely happen to me and like where I'm at in life currently, and I genuinely got like a little sad. I was like, oh wait, hold on, I gotta like bring it back. But you know, that's music, right? But like, it's a fucking dariacore song. Why? Okay, whatever. Anyway, so now what I'm gonna try is what I did, but in the other direction. Instead of going slower, I'll go faster. So, slow motion. I know, right? Radioactive. Okay, wait. So this is already 50 cents down. I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. Which means I would like to go. Well, this is essentially just D 50 cents up. So here. Right. So I just want to test it. I might listen to the whole thing again at that key, because it does sound complete. It just changes it completely. The feel, whenever chords sit at a certain frequency, it can kind of resonate with you more. And this is true, and it's not voodoo, but it's not strictly applicable to. It's not exclusive to like microtonal stuff. It's not exclusive to 50 cent stuff. So okay, so wait, okay, it was this one. It's gonna be, oh, that's fast as shit. Maybe I just want this one. I think I like this way better already. I cannot lie. Not even close. Sounds fire so far. No, Forbidden Love is a pretty good track. Yeah, that's it. I think it's pretty good.
Idiot.
This sounds way filthier. Oh god. I think that's it. I think that's the pitch I'm gonna use. Great. Now I've exhausted my ideas. You should make a song using 6-7 time signature. I've theorized this. But I'm pretty bad at anything that isn't 4/4 or 3/4. I'm pretty bad at I had to force myself to make something that was good in 3/4. Which is releasing. I literally forget this. I always forget in the track list of the EP that I'm fucking releasing. My dumbass. The last 2 tracks, they're like in reverse order. And I actually can't see it from here. Wait, no, I'm stupid. Because I don't know if it's Purgatory or if it's Mascot that releases first. No, Purgatory is the last one. So on the track that releases on November 1st at 9 p.m. is the one that I forced myself to make in triplets because I don't know how to do that, but I figured it out. I hunkered down. Now here's my problem. Now for the next, I don't know how many minutes. I don't want to end the stream because that would be way too early and that would be fucking idiotic on my end. But like, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty bad notoriously at like making music from scratch on stream. Play Skate, you're so funny. Oh my god, you're so funny. Would you ever do an in-depth mixing and mastering tutorial? The problem with that is it would be an in-depth mixing and mastering tutorial from my perspective in terms of like making like dariacore. I mean, I could definitely tell you what I know. But I can also tell you what I apply, which are 2 different things. I try to break stuff down whenever I get the chance. But like as far as like a straight up video, it's like, yeah. Here's what I'll do though. Here's what I will do though. I'll break down the thing that I just made. Drum kit when?
Kerbazaz became cultured. Kerbazaz celebrates 6 months of membership. Drum kit when?
Thank you so fucking much, by the way, for resubbing. Forgot I had this again. I don't know, because I barely like compile sounds for myself. Like I have like a concept of a drum kit, like of things that I like gather sometimes. I've never used that in my life, actually. And there's like, like bullshit. The most extensive part is the snare part, because I make all this.
Porkit super chatted $1.99. I gives up.
No more Arizona attempt. God damn it. I really do appreciate the $2 though. Like, thank you so much, Pocket. Like, honestly. The snares go hard? They do. They do. I wish I could like tell you how I make them. I mean, like, it's simple in concept. I had some snares custom made for this song, actually. Not custom made, but like more like daisy chained together from other snares that I've made. You get $2 every stream I pop into. Don't guarantee that. But yeah, personally for dariacore, I never really download like dariacore drum packs or kits or anything like that. Because I only have one, and I've only used one sound from it in this because it's not a sound that I would normally use, and that's like by design for this track because it's not a main account post. But like, I just feel like if you start downloading kits, your stuff loses your personal flavor and your personal touch. So like learning basic sound design, like how to make a snare, like the fundamentals of how to make a snare, um, can go a long way. Mr. Bill has some pretty good sauce on like understanding like what makes a good transient and like what makes a good tail, you know. And like there's somebody doing snare tober on Twitter who also goes in depth on like how to make a snare from scratch. How snare cut through mix. No, snare tober is actually insane. The snare tober was also done last year, and he just made a snare every single October. He started doing like 1-to-1 recreations of snares that he's heard. He's fucking cracked. I keep seeing your posts, and it's insane. Yeah, like if you really want to learn how to make snares, you go there. How to make dariacore chord stacks by fembread. Everyone has their own method of that. I'll actually talk about that too. I'm going to use the remaining time on stream to talk about my mixing and producing stuff, to just decisions. This is question time now. I'm declaring it question time now. Chord stacks are hard, like sound selection and mix. Okay. So as far as snare cutting through the mix, answer number one I can tell you is the sidechain, right? It's kind of like number one. So most people, the way they sidechain, they just use automation clip. So they would route all their sounds that they want to be sidechained into a sidechain track like I have right here, and they would just automate the mixer right here. You can do that, all right? I don't. And the reason why I don't is because if you make an automation clip like so, let's say you make an automation clip like this, right? MIDI with LFO tool? Yeah, I use a MIDI with LFO tool. Is dariacore always mix or limiter to master? I don't use a limiter. Hyperflip fins on the hypo stand. Okay, whatever. So like if you make an automation clip like this, it won't go to 0 right at the playhead. It'll take like a couple of milliseconds to do so. So a bit of your sounds bleeds into the transients of your drums. And what is a transient? A transient is just the beginning part right here, the initial click. Oh, and I have to like make an automation clip now so it stays at that volume. But like step one is the sidechain. So a lot of people, they just move the automation clip slightly before. That's like a really easy solution. I just use an LFO tool with a MIDI out because I'm a fucking nerd. Mr. Bill did a MIDI triggered LFO tool sidechain on Ableton, and I wanted to see if I could recreate it in FL Studio, and then I just liked the workflow. But it is a little glitchy at times. Like if you play it and the sidechain is like down, then you won't hear anything. Hold on, can I get it to induce? I can't. Whatever. But basically, if you play it and the sidechain's down when you pause it, it'll be down the next time you play it. So you have to like reset it. And like sometimes when you render the whole thing out, you can hear the sidechain activate there. So it gets a little fucky. But whatever. So snare cut through mix. Step 2, have a hard fucking transient. Right? So this snare is... That's... Oh, Jesus Christ. Can I just like one-shot that? Here, let me do this. Oh, God. The transient is clipping so fucking hard. And there's a very easy way to do that. Like a couple people, sometimes what they'll do is they'll just double it up. It's clipping so hard that you can't hear the difference. But what I do personally is I just use a transient shaper. I turn the speed all the way up and the attack all the way up, and I just let it clip. So it adds like a click. I do that to the drums as well if I want the transient to be sharper. A weak transient is a weak snare, right? So this snare is hard as hell. It kind of doesn't need all this processing. It just makes it crispier. But like that is kind of basically it. The transient is basically like one of the most important parts for like a clicky snare, Then the sidechain comes second there. If you're not sidechaining though, having the transient poke out so that it gets like compressed by whatever you're running on the master, it also helps. But like sometimes the answer is good sounds because it does solve a lot of your problems. But like the trick is the experience to know what is a good sound and what isn't. Try to make speedcore next time, IDK. Lol. I'm starting to understand, but like I don't know how to write. You know, that just comes with time. I don't know. For me, that hasn't been like I can't tell you how to write because I'm just that was the one thing that I was good at from the jump is like arranging. Like I understand the concept of arranging, you know, quite well, like intuitively, and it's hard to teach that. You know, it's one of those intangibles that you just it either you have it or you gain it, or you gain some semblance of it. Like you gain a workaround. Also, hi Ryson. You do have to go through enough generic sounding shit to develop it. Like the only reason why I know how to arrange at all and like have a feel for it is because it's based on like already established techniques in like pop and like older like big name like dubstep and stuff like that, you know. Um but like yeah, you just gotta be like you gotta be basic first. You gotta crawl before you can walk, as they say. Fucking Christ. Oh no. Okay, saw stacks. So, techniques as in like fills and stuff like that, build-ups. Yeah. Okay, I will say though, like fills I learned from Daria. Where to put them, like I've already like I kind of have a feel for it. Like it's not bad. It's not hard to do, like as far as the arranging and the phrasing. But the selection and like the execution of it, the steeziness of it is different. You know what I mean? Like how you actually go about doing it really defines your sound. What's the guy who ruined an already ruined genre doing in the top corner? Yeah. What's it called? Okay, so saw stacks. I will tell you that half of your saw stacks, if not most of your saw stacks, have jack shit to do with the saw, and have more to do with how the bass is clipping into the saw. Because that's all the grit. You know what I mean? This isn't really a saw stack at all, but it's the same philosophy. So this won't teach you notes, but it'll teach you mixing. Right, so I had this concept here. I used the reference track for this because I wanted to get it right. Reference tracks are important. So like I heard this one track. Sounds really cool, really steezy. I like the grit in it, and I wanted to steal the flow. So I did. And there's a lot of nice grit there. It's super wide, super loud, you know, but it still has that like ethereal chord sound to it, you know. So I'll go over the mixing for it, for that grit, that real, you know, it's clipping hard as shit, but it's really hard to listen to. But like a cool hard, not like difficult hard. So like all this shit, when I'm layering this with a bass. Like, by layering, I mean like I'm starting with a bass and then a sample. So like, I'm not building the layer alone usually, unless it's a saw, in which case like it's kind of hard to build it with the bass, for me. But you know, workflow, it's up to you. But the bass is everything in your saw stack, right? It's also your entire arrangement. It's also, you know, the entire groove. It's everything. And basses are super easy in Daria. It's very rudimentary sound design. All right, very simple, hard, distorted. Well, yeah, it's the root of this. It's the root of fucking everything. It's the fucking bass, you know. But it's the reason the stack sounds so cool. And let me explain why. So the bass itself. Let me take off all this shit that I have. Super simple bass. You can do this with a saw. I'm just using this wavetable because I liked the harmonics of it more. And it's essentially just you take a waveform and then you take this LFO, you put it on an envelope and you put it on anchor and then you drag it over the coarse pitch. Now when you drag it, it's going to be bipolar. You can hold Alt, Shift, and click and it's unipolar now. And you go into Matrix and like edit that. And that's the attack. That's your little pitch bend. That's also how making most drums work, by the way. Now you know. Right? And then we distort it. It's essentially just a square wave now, which is really funny. But then you just add noise. And that's it. And that's it. That's literally it. And I'm doing some nerd shit where I'm taking a Maximus and I'm taking the low, like the 100 hertz, and I'm like flattening that so that it's like a smooth signal that's at the same volume every single time, regardless of the note. But like that's nerd. You don't really have to do that. I will say, cutting at 300 makes your shit sound subbier. I cut a bit of like the actual sub frequencies because it was clipping just a little bit too hard. And like the 100 is where like the fundamentals at, kind of. So like you can get like a nice bass sound without having the bass clip a little bit too. Like if I like have the other thing playing, but then I put this back up to level, it's like inaudible. You know what I mean? So I had to adjust that. You know, the art of the clip, right? Like what part of the sound do you want to actually hear and what part of the sound do you want to affect everything else? You know, bass is really good at clipping other things, and making them sound grittier. I will say for the master to really achieve the grit, it's gain, and it's gain, and it's a clipper, and it's basically it. And I'm doing some fancy shit where it's like I have an input EQ putting in some bass to go into a clipper, which puts it out and lowers the volume at the same amount that it raised inside. So like the volume isn't ever increasing, but the clip is increasing, which does decrease the volume of the fundamental. But like if the bass is so high that it's clipping everything, you kind of do want that to like reel it back in. Right. And that's basically it. And so like when you start to build your stack, it just has the grit. It just has the grit because you know, it's nice to have high end in the thing that you're clipping the bass to, so that high end gets clipped. But like that's all the mixing. That's why saw stack sounds so thick and dirty. It's because the bass is doing all the work. You know what I mean? That's essentially the mixing. That's all it is. And the trick to make it sound clean, because like, you know, you think to yourself like, all right, well there's a gain on the master. Okay, surely that means all the drums will be blown out to shreds. Well, I mean, no, if you just turn them down. You know what I mean? Like the drums are distorted, but like it purposefully distorted. You know, not like super blown out distorted. You know, there's a difference. You can kind of tell when someone's like inexperienced at mixing Daria because their drums are like super blown out distorted and like everything is like fucking ruined and smeared. You know, if the sound design, quote unquote, is super distorted, but your drums are super clean, you know, and the sidechain is nice and tight and the groove is good, it gives off the impression of it being clean but still gritty. You know what I mean? Like that's everything. I will say, for the base layers for your saw stacks, it does help to build up more saw layers in the base as well, right? For that nice low mid thickness. That's kind of a, if you really listen closely to Daria, that's a bit of a trademark. There's a nice low mid width thickness that you get from like a super saw that's layering on the base, which would be this. It is literally just a super saw with no 100. And that's like super distorted with like more stereo on it, essentially. Which is just serving the purpose of low mid. If I get rid of it, let me have this on, but get rid of the layers. You can barely hear it actually. Wait. It just adds a bit more depth to like the bass part of the frequency spectrum, you know? As if there wasn't already a lot going on. And that's kind of the trademark of Daria. The saw stacks, it's mostly the bass. It is mostly the bass. I will say though, um, for saw stacks, like in terms of notes, I'll actually open up an example. I feel like doing this. I think it is Daria 2010. It is Daria 2010. This isn't the most recent one. Wait, is it? No, it is. No, wait. Is it? No, wait. No, Daria, no, it's, mm, my brain works again. Okay. I forgot. Um, but no, yeah, this one's like really good. The single's really good. I do agree. But fuck, I'm gonna open this up so I can show you like notes. For me, like this is a flavor thing. This is a stylism choice. You know, like again, like the principles are there, but how you go about doing it determines you and how you sound. You know, Deadmau5 put it best. It's like, yeah, like everyone's using like supersaws and stuff, but it's how you distort the supersaws, like what kind of plugins you're using to run it through, like the processing, you know, your unique character. Um, that can be imitated but not replicated, for sure. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those. Um, so for me, like the way my note choice goes, I'm rarely ever using like basic like minor thirds, and stuff like that. I'm just using stuff that's like, so. I mean, let's just like take a gander. I'm just so tired of life. I know it can't be this bitch, can't wait to this shit. Saw stacks, saw stacks, saw stacks. Right. So the saws themselves, these are the I thought these would sound way louder. So what I do is very simple. I just have two layers. I have the fucking smeary layer, you know, the unison layer, and the clean layer, and they serve different purposes. So this, you would think that you could use it to add like the low mids that I was talking about earlier. You could, but I have a different patch doing that, so I don't want those frequencies interfering with this. So I just kind of have it, you know, all these mids is what gives it like that, like the sort of airiness, almost like a choir sound sort of thing, and it works best with the unison. So I just like to have those poke out, you know, and kind of duck a little bit of the high end and duck a bit of the low mids, and I let the clean layer take care of that. So there's like a nice clean layer of low mids and a nice clean layer of highs, and like it's just there to further solidify the notes of the chord so that they're more audible. And a bit of crispiness as well, you know. As far as like processing goes, I also do this thing where I just fucking distort it. It just barely adds a bit more noise, which I like. That's just a regular saw chord with detune. It's regular. It's about as regular as it gets. So oscillator 1 or synth 1 is just two oscillators, octave apart, unison. This one is octave apart, random all the way down because there's no unison, and I adjusted the phase to get like a specific sound. Because if there is no unison and they're starting from the same spot every single time because you turn the random down, then adjusting the phase of the two oscillators will give you a kind of unique sort of sound for the clean layer. You know what I mean? Like there's a bunch of different options there. Because the random's all the way down, because the waveforms are starting from the same spot every single time. I'm just choosing where in the waveform for it to start, and as they come together, you know, blah, blah, blah. Simple synthesis concepts can very much increase your understanding of music by a lot, I will say. Right, so as far as notes go, I don't even know how to explain this. I wish I did. Fuck you, Zyth. How do I? Okay, yeah. So you're probably wondering, like, I use a low note, but it gets fucking high passed out anyway. I mean, there's still upper frequencies that the low note introduces, so I keep it there. So it's like I like my sus2s. All right, learning intervals helps. I like my sus2s, and I only use like a minor third if it's after like a sus2, so there's like dissonance. Let me just, and then add the fourth because it just goes in between the fifth. So it's just a smear of dissonance, and then just add the minor seventh. So now you have like a minor 7, 9, 13 sort of thing, except the octaves are all weird. Now, let me explain. If the way these notes are so close together, this chord progression I made basically as a joke, because the second chord is just the first chord, but these two notes are up an octave. and this chord is the same, except it's that and that. You know, so the chords just kind of flow together nicely in a way, and it doesn't sound like the voicing of the chords is like forced or anything, you know, and it's great, and it's nice and fat, and it's nice and thick, and it gets the job done, and that's literally it. And it's very simple, but it does, you know, if you don't know that you're in a minor scale. Like, if you don't know that you're in a minor scale, then it's going to be way harder to do any of that. Like, if you don't know that, like, the minor third of that is this, and the fifth of that is that, you know what I mean? And, like, the minor seventh of that would be, oh, no, it would be there. But, like, shit like that. Just like that. It's simple because it is just first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then, you know, the upper extensions, the nines, the flat 13, you know, but all that shit. Basic theory, not like anything that you need to learn to like note shit down. And like as far as the clip goes, because that's the important part. Let me turn this up too. I will say, in this instance, I'm also layering the saw with some other shit. So there's like some... Why isn't this playing? Oh, that's why. And it's the same thing as before. This is the same exact bass with a different wavetable. Noise, distortion, the pitch automation. And then just a super filtered, super distorted, fifth unison saw layer. Just to fill the space. And I'm doing some like fancy shit, some nerd shit in this project. Oh shit, that was the wrong way to do that. And by that I mean, am I doing anything for Halloween? Probably jerking off. And by that I mean like, I have everything that I want to be clipped by the bass running into the bass clipper. So it's not on like the master, so it's not like the drums aren't affecting it. You know, it's very specific, so I can choose to clip certain sounds to the bass and not certain sounds to the bass. So basically everything is being sent into here to give it a lot more of a clip with the bass and just a lot more grit. Because if I turn this off, It's still nice, but that adds like an extra bit of high-end grit because of the fact that the bass is just clipping into it quite hard. And I put like an output gain on it, which is psycho. And yeah, just gain plus clipper. And I guess I'm using a spectral compressor on the master here to, sometimes I do this where, Jesus Christ. Sometimes I do this thing where I send the high frequencies in through a spectral compressor to like kind of glue them all together so that I can then EQ it after the fact. Because if I take it off, it sounds nice, but that has that extra crispiness to it. But I rarely do this. This is like nerd shit and turbo nerd shit. But like that's the saw stack sauce. There's no super duper fancy tricks. It's just fundamental understanding of how clipping works, and you know, just hearing it and experimenting with it and being able to master it. Because like I would avoid doing it like super hard on like earlier Daria stuff because I just didn't really know what I was doing. But then I kind of learned that you can just do whatever. Right. Yeah. Cool. Is there anything else that is picking your brain while I still have the energy? Yeah. I do feel like the people who this whole thing was meant for are just not here now. They just fell asleep at their keyboard listening to me speak. To drink some water. Is this thing on? Hello? Uh-oh. Hey, I'm not talking to a brick wall, am I? Mind if I dig in myself? Pardon? What does it even mean? Oh, it's just you. Right, yeah. Hi. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, that's cool. Well, I mean, this is usually why I try not to go. No, don't be fucking sorry. This is usually why I try not to go super long with like explaining my process, because the person who asked, usually doesn't expect an answer as long as the one that I'm willing to give. Because I'm willing to talk. I'm willing to really go into detail about like what I was thinking in a moment. Because I feel like it'll help. Still here as well. All right, yeah. I will say, if there aren't any more burning questions, I think that's it for me. For this stream. Chat, yeah, no, chat just completely, like, I completely murdered it, essentially, is what happened. I came in that bitch with an AK and just started spraying it and purring it, and, like... Oh, you got hit with an ad. Terrible timing. That is terrible timing. But yeah. Just, giving it some time to simmer, seeing if the lurkers are gonna fucking wake up! I'm playing! I'm joking! I'm joking. I think that just about covered it, though. I don't know. I'm pretty bad at explaining my process. Because sometimes you just kind of go, you know what I mean? You just listen and then you interpret. Like if you want to make dariacore, you listen to dariacore. You listen to good daria. I gotta shove bong bong in the microwave? Do you now? Isn't that interesting? Alright, well, OPDBX. I don't know how long you were here for. That's not the right folder. But I just finished up Trackington. It was still not mine. Random exports. This one. Don't be so loud. It's loud as hell. Like 2 seconds? Yeah, I was working on this shit earlier. Pretty cool. And I still have to put something there. So I actually didn't finish. But like, you know, I was working on it. I was really chipping at it. I just spent the better part of like the last 30 minutes just kind of talking about shit, like how I make the music. Um where is I'm actually curious the FLP for when my brain works again. I'll finish. I think it's _2. The FLP for the recent release that I did just release like 5 hours ago to 1, 12, 11, 10. Yeah, 5 hours ago. 5 hours ago on the dot right now, actually. Wait, this is burped. Not at all is very helpful and concise. Thank you. You are very welcome. It is not this. It is absolutely not this. This is a fucking intro concept, and I just like, what does this even sound like? And then it just stops. Okay. Yeah, I had just started making this. But then let me open the actual version, which will take forever to open, because I have to open up all the contacts, which are my drum VSTs, and then all the synths, and then all the key zones, and then I have to stretch all the samples. Like this one, which I think I used as a reference track, but I forgot to delete it from the project, so it just takes super long to stretch. Ah, fucking Christ. You come here often? I feel like I don't usually see this crowd. How'd you find this place? Google Maps? Yeah, you know, that Yelp shit, you know, it's really innovative for small businesses. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing, by the way. I'm being schizophrenic while this thing's fucking opening because I can't think of anything else. Because holy shit, this is a lot of audio clips that need to be stretched. God damn. Good Time, Owl City. I forget, is this one of those where I ran out of fucking tracks and I had to start like consolidating? It might be. But also might not be. Jesus Christ. It's Jason Bourne. God. I love bringing it back to the classics sometimes. Just giving myself whiplash for the culture. You know, just to see how hard it can make myself cringe. It's a bit of a sport. I just wanted to open this and like poke around. You know what I mean? Because I haven't actually like... There we go. Damn. Fuck. Yeah, this is everything. I even like named everything and like colored it. Okay, no, I wasn't close to running out of tracks, which is absurd because I remember this project being like gigantic, because it kind of is. It's like, it's insane. I made a fucking the high tech thing. Well, it's tech core. I don't know what the fuck this is. There's high tech, there's tech core, there's fucking, I don't know, tech these nuts, whatever the hell, like. As you can tell by the very rudimentary arranging and like the fact that it's just notes and chords and not like crazy sample work and sound design. It is my first time doing anything like this. But no, this is one of those projects where you go back and you're like, what the fuck was I doing? I think I was like actually making basses too. I was like really trying. I really did that shit. I really sound design. I rarely sound design. And obviously I use the fucking massive wavetables. But like, you asked me to break this down, I would be right there with you figuring out how I did this, because I kind of don't know. You know what I mean? But look, that just makes it all the more fun to listen to as a song that's on my SoundCloud. Like, this part hits so hard. I had a lot of fun making this part. I might do this more often, where I just put guitar in the song. little bit of that Midwest swag, you know, all that stuff. But like, yeah, go listen. All right, I'm gonna assume there's no more burning questions, so that's it for me. All right, I new single description, Discord description. Okay, I stream Monday midnights, Eastern Standard Time. Be there or be square. If you're square, you're not around. Now get the fuck out of here, you filthy animals.